Welcome back, everyone, to Unbroken Arrows podcast. As always, I'm Catherine.
And I'm Greg. And you have both of us today. For the first time in several months, Catherine and I are together. I guess that's not entirely true.
No.
Our last podcast that we did, we were together, but we had your mom. This is...
and the one before that, we had Trey.
Oh, but we weren't in the same room.
Right. We weren't in the same room.
We weren't even in the same state.
Correct.
Yeah. So I guess what's that, the biggest question that's out there is, are we avoiding each other?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are.
Yeah.
At least I am. Just kidding.
That's wow. News to me. I thought that was a joke, but now I'm feeling pretty bad about it. It has been busy. You're doing some summer school classes, right? Or class?
Unfortunately, I have 3 classes.
Oh, classes.
Yeah. Plus work at Shields and then my internship.
Yeah,
So,
you're busy.
there's not much free time.
What happened to my flowers, though?
Nobody told me to water them.
They revived, just so everybody knows.
It's not like on the top of my mind.
Yeah.
You have to specifically tell me to water the flowers.
We have to leave a list.
But it rained like that whole weekend you were gone.
Yeah, speaking of the rain, we need sunlight. I'm starting to get that.
Kind of depressing.
Yeah, it's now. Don't get me wrong. We need rain, and at some point in time, the spigot is going to shut off. But we haven't even had the sprinklers on yet for the lawn this year. It's middle June, and that's unique for the Midwest. But it's raining now. It's rained, I think, every day for about 3 or 4 days. And again, don't get me wrong, we need the rain, and we didn't get much last year, so that's a good thing. But speaking of rain, that impacted your archery expedition in an effort to get your paddlefish tag filled, right?
Yeah, it was just a lot tougher because the water was murky, so you couldn't see anything that you were shooting at. You were just shooting at splashes on the top of the water.
Okay, so I'm familiar with the process of trying to harvest a paddlefish by snagging, but tell me what you do when you were trying to fill your paddlefish tag with archery.
You pretty much we were lucky. One of the guys that we work with has a boat that's rigged up for like archery fishing.
And what does that look like?
I don't know how. It's like a boat that's got a deck on it that you can stand on.
Okay, is it a fee hull or is it a flat bottom boat?
I don't know.
Oh, wow. Maybe I do know more about this than you do.
Boats? I have no idea.
I do believe it's a flat bottom boat that's rigged with a platform out front.
Probably it's got a platform on it.
Right.
He's got lights and stuff for when you're at night, shooting them at night. But yeah, I don't know.
But you can't shoot paddlefish at night.
No, you can shoot carp at night.
Yeah.
But then you just kind of stand there and you wait to see a fish. But the problem is you couldn't see them. So by the time that you like caught a glimpse of them hitting the surface, they were already going back down. So you're just hoping that you happen to have shot in the same general area that they decided to swim off after they hit the surface.
Sure. Well,
or be super fast, and I don't have that good of reflexes.
Oh, well, that's true. You're the one that's been hit several times by jumping carp, right?
That's true.
There were 3 of you that were fishing, or 4?
There was 4 of us fishing, and then the guy who had the boat was also there.
Okay. So, and you and Nate did not harvest a paddlefish, but one person on the boat did. Is that right?
Yeah. So the one guy that did, he'll even admit it was a pretty lucky shot. We had just gotten to where like they shut the boat off and we were starting to troll, and I wasn't even paying attention. And I turned around and he was fighting a fish. And I was like, whoa, what happened? But he literally saw a splash out of the corner of his eye, snapshot, and ended up sticking one. And it was 71 pounds, which is really big for where we were.
Yeah, that's a nice fish. Yeah, very big fish.
Yeah, so that was exciting. I had really high expectations after that. I was like, we haven't even been here for a minute. So
sometimes that's the worst thing to have happen is someone catch a fish or harvest something
it
right
was
away.
Tough, though. There was maybe one or two other boats that you could see had fish because they just like tie them up and drag them on the side of the boat. But I think a lot of people were struggling.
And you were talking about the possibility of going here soon again, but this rain just is not conducive for that, is it?
Yeah, I don't know. We might still go and just try again because you might get lucky shooting at a splash. Mm-hmm. But we're not quite sure.
And when does the season end?
Last day of June.
Last day of June. So it is a very small window, just 1 month.
Yeah.
Well, I hope that you get the opportunity to do that, and I hope that you have luck. One of you. That would be nice.
Be fun.
Yeah, I had my expectations set so high for just like paddlefish coming out of the freezer, but that didn't happen.
No, it was tough. So then, of course, like this is the first time I've tried shooting fish this year. So I was like, maybe I just suck. Like, that's probably what it is.
Why is human nature just good to go there right away? It's got to be me.
We went out and shot carp around here a couple days ago, and I hit a couple. So I was like, okay, I'm not great, but I don't, like, if I can hit a carp that's probably the quarter of a size of what a lot of those paddlefish are.
That's true.
Like, I should be able to hit a paddlefish. It wasn't entirely my fault. There was a couple I probably should have hit, though. I just was too slow.
Well, it's confidence. Remember back at the turkey hunt, you had such a good shot. You felt comfortable and everything. And I told you that's Nate. Nate's the issue. I'm a calming factor. Nate makes you nervous.
Or I think what it was is like you just can't think about it. I wasn't expecting to shoot. Like I was gonna.
You weren't expecting me to miss.
I was gonna get you a turkey, and then if we happened to have another shot, I'd shoot one. But all of a sudden, I was like, "All right, like now you shoot." Mm-hmm. I was like, "Oh, okay." So then you don't have time to psych yourself out.
Good point. I haven't really had that issue because I haven't.
You've psyched yourself out every time.
Well, that's probably true.
That's
turkey.
Probably what it is.
Yeah, I'm 2 for 2 with shots that I've taken on deer and 0 for with turkeys. Mm-hmm. Interesting. I never thought of that. I wonder what the difference is that. I suck. No, I didn't go there. It's just something else. External factors. Mm-hmm. Or I suck. Right? That's what you're thinking.
No. I've seen you shoot. You're pretty good at shooting. Just not at turkeys.
Just not at turkeys. I got feathers. Since we've visited, we went to, your brother AJ, boyfriend Nate, and your grandpa Peters, and I went to Big Stone.
It was super windy the whole time you guys were there?
Not the first night. The first night, Nate and AJ got there, and they went fishing right away, and AJ caught a really nice walleye. If I'm not mistaken, I think he said that was his personal record. 29-inch?
I think he did say that because Mackenzie and I were both like, well, we've caught bigger ones.
Oh, okay.
And I think Nate got his PR too that weekend.
Did he?
I think so. It was like 28 or something like that.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Bigger. I think this is, if I remember correctly, he said he caught bigger fish on his grandpa's pond, but that doesn't really count because it's a stocked pond.
Okay. But they're still wild fish and have to eat and survive, right? Now, come on.
Yeah, but it's a little bit easier when there's
a smaller surface area to try to fish from. Well, either way, it was that first night, you're right, though, it wasn't very windy. The next day, it was, I'm trying to think, did we even go out in the water the next day?
I don't think you did.
Yeah, no, we didn't. We played cards and took naps and those kinds of things. And then we went out the last day and we found some bluegills. And those were nice bluegills. And, I haven't caught a bluegill that size in my life. I Can't say.
They get big down
They
there.
do get
or
big.
up there, I guess.
Right. No, that's a lake I'd like to fish a little bit more, just to learn what it's all about. Big Stone Lake is on the border between South Dakota and Minnesota, and it's part of the Minnesota River. And I learned something while I was up there. My whole life, we've been traveling I-29 to go up to our cabin in Minnesota. And so my whole life been driving over that ridge by, I think it's Wilmot. And every year, I see the sign that says Continental Divide. And I never really stopped to think about that. But the Minnesota River flows south. And I think it's Lake Traverse that is on the other side of that Wilmot Ridge. And that eventually becomes the Red River, which flows north into Canada. So the border river to the south is the Minnesota River, border river to the north is the Red River. So
you lost me. There's a lot of directions.
There's a glazed look in Catherine's eye right now, but Big Stone is also not as deep as I thought it was going to be. I mean, it was 12, 15, 16, 18 feet in some areas, and there are some, I know why it's named Big Stone. Do you?
Why is that?
There's some big stones in that river. Yeah. Anyway, back to Big Stone. There are areas that, if anybody's listening to this and decides to go fish Big Stone, make sure you talk to people that are around there and get an idea about the lake, because if you've got electronics, that'll help you. But you can be in 14 foot of water, and then very quickly it gets rocky and pretty shallow. So you don't want to shear a shear pin on that and lose your prop or anything like that. Even with trolling motors too, you don't want to have anything go wrong. So be safe with that. But so anyway, Big Stone is something that I hope that I get an opportunity to fish again sometime soon. One of the other things I've done since we've been together is I started to volunteer at the outdoor campus for the South Dakota State Game and Parks. And that helped out with the stream ecology class. Unfortunately, I only got to help out one night, and the second night that they were having that was the night that they went out to collect and find the macroinvertebrates that are in the water that are so important to the life cycle of fish. Catherine's getting one of those glazed looks in her eyes again.
I'm just not a science person. As much as I would love to really geek out about all of these hunting, fishing, biology, sciencey things, it's I would just rather shoot the deer.
Just shoot the deer.
Catch the fish.
Catch the fish, shoot the deer. That'd be a good T-shirt.
Yeah.
Catch the fish, shoot the deer.
Coming soon.
I don't like sciencey stuff. Catch the fish, shoot the deer. That's it.
Yeah, I wish I did. I wish I found it interesting, but I'm
getting used to the glazed look, though. I can tell when Catherine is daydreaming about or when she picks up her phone.
Daydreaming about shooting fish.
Shooting fish?
Wait.
That's right. You can shoot fish with your bow. Speaking of which, we have big news with regard to our euchre playing.
Oh.
Usually when we play euchre, it's Catherine's mom, Stephanie, and Nate against Catherine and I, and we don't, or Catherine and me.
We haven't lost.
We haven't lost.
For once.
Yeah, this last time.
I was tired, though.
Someone was making some very poor choices on.
I was playing like Nate usually plays.
That's true.
But it was 10:30. I am not a night owl. I am not a morning person. I like to be in bed by 9, and I like to wake up at 9.
9-ish, let's just say that.
Yeah, 9-ish, give or take half an hour. Yeah. Usually give. And it was 11 o'clock, and they're like, let's play euchre. And I'm like, Are you sure?
Well, okay. Knowing that, then I guess we'll have to start our euchre games like at 1 o'clock in the afternoon or something like that.
No, then I'm bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Okay. I will go along with that. I won't throw you under the bus. No, once you're up, you're up. Mm-hmm. I took a nap this morning.
I do love a good nap.
Yes.
I'm all for naps as well. Like if I wake up to hunt, there's a good chance I'm taking a nap later in the day.
Well, that's usually up before dawn too, right?
Right.
Yeah, so I understand that. The issue with me right now is, again, this cloudy weather, rainy. You just can't do anything. Well, you can, I guess, but I'll quit complaining about the rain because we need the rain. Got to remember that. So, well, in the future here, we have some things going on. Sometime here in the future, we're going to be heading up to our family cabin in Minnesota and looking forward to doing some trail riding there.
Maybe seeing a bear.
Maybe see a bear. I haven't. And my first trip to that cabin was when I was 5 years old. So I'm 60. So 55 years, almost 56, I guess, years since I'll be 61 soon.
Tomorrow, but as we're recording this podcast, he turns 61 tomorrow.
Yeah.
So he'll already be 61 by the time this comes out.
So 56 years I've been going up there and I haven't seen a bear.
You never know.
I have seen bear shit.
It could happen.
Oh, it could.
It's black bears, though.
Yeah.
So they usually kind of stay away.
Well, I've seen evidence of bears. We've had bears get into the trash. I found some parts of trees that look like bears have clawed on them. I mean, left very large indentations on the trees, which are pretty impressive, to be honest.
Maybe you should just leave your trash out, and then you could see a bear.
Put up my game cam?
Yeah.
Wonder if it's legal in Minnesota to do that.
Leave like half a steak or something.
Catch a fish and clean it and leave the carcass there. You know, I would much rather just not draw a bear to the cabin. So I think maybe I'm not going to do that. But I think while we're up there, I'm going to record a podcast with your mom and we'll tell some stories of things that we've done over the years. And we had a trail ride this spring up in the Black Hills. It was pretty interesting.
It's the same time we almost sank the boat.
That's right.
We all almost died on the same day.
You know what? Tell us about that. That might be a good learning lesson.
Well,
did you know even what went wrong?
From what I understood after, like...
Well, I do, so I could tell you.
Well, you can tell me if it's wrong.
Okay.
But we'll go back to the beginning. Basically, we get out to this lake, and someone we knew was on this lake already, and we were catching fish, told us where to go. We get on, they are leaving. We are going, I think we even checked, because AG was like, yeah, we were going like 30 miles an hour, maybe not quite that fast, 25, to the spot where we were going to fish. We stop. We get the live scope down. AJ's like, oh, there's fish all over. Like, you guys better start casting. We maybe make 5, 6, 7 casts. And all of a sudden, Mackenzie looks down and is like, AJ, there's water in the bottom of the boat. And there's like a couple inches of water in the bottom of the boat. And he's like, oh, crap. Like, let's go. So right away, he starts going for shore because he's like, I honestly don't know if we're going to make it back to the boat ramp because we are filled with water. We were going like 7, 8 miles an hour, full throttle down because we were so heavy.
Oh, boy.
And at that point, I'm like, well, maybe you should call this guy that's already out there, see if he can like back the trailer down onto the boat ramp so that we can just drive up on it so we don't have to like drop someone off, let more water in it, all of this. So he calls him and he's like, we just left, but like I can turn around if you want me to. And he's just like, nope, we're good. Like, don't worry about it. I was like, are you sure? Like, maybe you should tell him to turn around. He's like, no, we're fine. So we ended up getting back to the boat ramp very slowly. And we started just draining it. And it was so full of water, we probably sat there for like half an hour and just let it drain. But so they ended up finding out that it was like the bilge pump. No, not the bilge pump. The live well.
The live well, yeah.
One of the
tubes that
tubes,
empty to keep it
was cracked.
Right.
Which they say that if you don't get it completely emptied in the fall, if there's any bit of water left, it'll freeze and it can crack your tubes.
Right.
So they ended up replacing that and it's fine. But our floors were also so rotten that like when we were emptying it out, there was like chunks of wood from the floors coming out the whatever.
Yeah, it's the but that's pretty normal for boats. Wood floors and they start to kind of fall apart. I don't think your floor's rotten yet because that was the same boat that we were in.
They are rotten because when they were rigging it all up with the stuff for the electronics, they had to take some of the like boards up. And he had told AJ, was like, your boards are, like, your floors are pretty rotten. Like, you probably need to replace these soon. And we were like, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
No worries.
And you should replace the live well tubing that's cracked.
Yeah, we didn't know about that.
Yeah. No, we fixed that before we went out on Big Stone and we didn't take in any water. So that was a good thing. And we had it probably loaded down more than what you did with the four of us in there. So
yeah, because it was just AJ, Nate, me, and Mackenzie.
Yeah. And I add 150 pounds to everybody else.
Oh my gosh. No, you don't.
Well,
but good reminder to just make sure you have life jackets because you never know what could happen.
That's right.
AJ even was like, I honestly didn't know if we were going to make it back.
Yeah, after you get back, you tell the truth.
Yeah, which Mackenzie and I are like, we can't really do anything at this point. So we're just giggling because it's like, what else are we supposed to do?
That's probably not the best thing to do is giggle. Those are the things that drive me crazy when, of course, if you're at the nervous giggle, maybe that's different. But
there wasn't really much we could do.
I don't know what's going on. It's like, okay, just be quiet then.
We were sitting there and there wasn't really anything else, so we just laughed.
Well, glad you made it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can remember your mom getting that phone call, and it was like, what? What? Is it sunk? Those kinds of things.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, so you start to wonder what the other side of the conversation is like. So yeah. Did you catch any fish?
No. And then, so we were like, well, we already drove all the way up here. We should just, like, shore fish on somewhere. And so we shore fished for, like, 4 hours and didn't catch anything either. And then on the way home, we stopped at Dairy Queen because I was hangry. And AJ and Nate wanted to fish, so they didn't feed Mackenzie and I. And so Mackenzie and I were hangry. Mm-hmm. And I asked for cheese curds, and they gave me French fries instead. And I was so mad. I was like, this day has been awful.
All because you got French fries rather than cheese curds.
And I had to, I paid for the cheese curds. Well, I didn't pay. I think AJ paid.
This seems to be a recurring thing. Didn't Nate get his cheese curds one time on a trip to Nebraska?
Yeah, they forgot to give him cheese curds from Culver's. And Nate actually was so mad. Like, he didn't talk the entire drive to Nebraska. He was so mad about it. I was more like, you're kidding. Because I really just wanted the cheese curds. Like, I got chicken nuggets too. But I really just wanted the cheese curds. But yeah, Nate was so mad about his cheese curds.
I can understand. Sometimes.
It's a serious thing.
Yeah. Did you know the cheese curds are both orange and white cheese?
From Culver's, yeah.
Okay. Your mom bet me that they weren't.
Oh, yeah. No, they are.
Yeah. And who won the bet?
You did. How much did you win?
Just my pride.
Oh. Lame.
Yep, I didn't bet any money, but
I'm pretty sure the ones at Dairy Queen are all the same color, though.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, we're getting close to the 4th of July, and the 4th of July is a big time for your grandpa and grandma Peters. They always like to host a big 4th of July celebration, so we are getting ready for OTL, over the line, South Dakota style. Mm-hmm. Year 2, and we'll see if everybody enjoys it as much as they did last year.
We're going to try to get a tournament going with the neighbors.
That's right. It'll be fun. I hope the weather's good. I hope it's not too hot. It'll be nice to appreciate all of the work that's been done up the cabin over the last year and a half. So that should be fun. And the 4th of July, as I say, will be coming up here shortly. Another thing that your mom and I have started this summer is the South Dakota Fish, Game, and Parks Passport program. You can get a little booklet that has all of the state recreation areas, all the state parks, and in it, and you visit each of those state parks, or as many as you can, and do something while you're there. So we've gone to Good Earth State Park and we've hiked. We've gone to Lake Alvin and we've kayaked, and we have gone to Newton Hills for a hike. And within the passport, there is it tells you where a little lock box is and the code to the lock box. And after every activity, you just stamp the page and maybe write a little bit of something about what you did. And the Game and Parks then give out prizes for the number of visits that you make. And I think it starts at 10. So we've got a ways to go.
What kind of prizes?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Is it like stickers, or is it like...
I don't know what the prizes are, but I think that maybe for the 10 visits, it might be something like a sticker or something like that. And I can't tell you without having that right in front of me, like what the maximum number or...
Maybe if you like get them all, you get a free state park pass for the next year.
That'd be
a great idea.
That would be, but I mean, do you understand how many recreation areas and state parks and things like that? There's a ton.
That's why I'd say, like, if you get them all, you get a free park pass.
I would think maybe a 5-year free park pass. That would be, because that'd be a lot of time and consideration. But I'm sure Stephanie would be happy if I mentioned this, that we started this program on our anniversary. That's what we did on our anniversary, is we went hiking at Good Earth and we went kayaking at Lake Alvin. So we celebrated our first wedding anniversary by getting out, enjoying the outdoors.
With that being said, Greg, I think we're
I think it's time to sign off. Yep, I think so. It's we're getting so affected by the weather and the rain and the clouds that we're starting to get on each other's nerves, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
So with that, if you or someone you know is in need of crisis intervention, please dial 988. There are resources available to help. To all of our listeners, take some time to get outside, get outdoors, and experience its healing powers. On behalf of Greg and myself, until next time. Are you eating cheese? You can have it. I don't want it. No, take it back.
I can see hair on it from here. You're going to eat it.
I don't want it.